Teacher Certification Comparison, presented by Magda Zietsman, February 2022. The countries to be compared is China with a world class ranking of 1, France ranking number 26, and Mexico ranked number 56. So it gives a good spread and shows and is worthy to be compared. China, just a few educational facts that's interesting. The Ministry of Education, MO, set guidelines for all teacher training in China. MO provides policy and curriculum guidance to higher education institutions. Higher education institutions, together with provincial and municipal commissions, provide teacher preparation and training. The requirements needed prior certification exam are the following. Required by all teachers is the teacher's law, the minimum of normal school training. Then, for elementary teachers, it should be normal school graduates or above, which means that they must have completed a senior secondary program in teaching, the equivalent of a high school diploma. For junior secondary teachers, they should have a minimum of an associate's degree or equivalent of 2 years of post-secondary education, according to Ingersoll in 2007. And then for upper secondary teachers, they should have at minimum a bachelor's degree based on 4 years of post-secondary education. France, ranked on number 26, is the following facts are very important, or educational facts that is very interesting, is the French Ministry of National Education, Higher Education and Research gives a professional diploma. The school leaders in France have limited responsibility for teacher recruitment and pedagogical matters. Certification procedures developed over many years, and the state defines pedagogical guidelines and curricula, carries out recruitment, training and management of staff in public and private schools. The certification process in France. And I must mention that because of translation, it makes it more difficult, but the interpretation and the process as understood from the French translation into English consists of the following. Candidates must pass an internal test, an external test, and a third competition to be admitted to the professional qualification exam. After they've done that, then they get a professional diploma, like I mentioned earlier on the previous slide. And this professional diploma is required by all school teachers. Primary education certification requires this professional diploma, whereas the secondary teacher certification includes the professional diploma and a certificate of aptitude for secondary teacher called KEPS. Since 2010, one can become a certified teacher also if obtaining a master's degree and then passing the KEPS exam. It is worth mentioning that France has a very complicated certification system and also a very complicated educational system. And I've added the key to this system, and this was done in 2020 by the OECD. Then Mexico ranked 56. Education is governed by the government, the SEC or Secretariat of Public Education. Education standards are set by this ministry at all levels, at all grade levels. There's a continuous struggle between the Mexican government and Mexican Teachers Union. Teachers are not highly valued in Mexico, and therefore it involves a lot of struggle between the government and the unions. In Mexico, basic education is divided into 3 areas or 3 steps. The first one is the primary school or primaria. That serves grades 1 through 6. The junior high school or secundaria, grades 7 through 9, and high school or preparatoria, grades 10 to 12. Education in Mexico is not doing well relative to the funds invested. Over 90% of children in Mexico attend primary school. Only 62% attend secondary school. Only 45% finish secondary school. After secondary school, only a quarter go to higher education. So this also explains why we do not see why Mexico is ranked so low on the world list of education or the educational world ranking, because teachers are not highly valued and education is also is not valued very high in Mexico. Mexico's teacher training. Training of early childhood and elementary school teachers takes place at an escuela or escuela normal. That's the teacher training college. Secondary school teachers are trained at an escuela normal superior. That's the higher teacher training college. Facultades de Pedagogia or faculties of pedagogy also offer such teaching degrees at universities. For each of these programs, the full-time program lasts between 3 and 4 years. And upon completion of the program, students are awarded the title of Licentiate in early childhood or in elementary or secondary education. Finding a position as a teacher often depends on being a woman, earning high grades during initial preparation coursework, being young, having completed one's qualifying preparation recently, and having graduated from the right public institution. And it is also just worthy to mention that all teachers must have completed a senior secondary program in teaching, which is the equivalent of a high school diploma. This is just an interesting slide that compares the average teacher salaries. Although China is ranked number 1, and teacher salaries are not low, it is about $36,000 per year. It is still not as high as in other areas of the world. In China, teachers are valued very high, and therefore the salaries are comparable, but it is not as high as in France. In France, the teachers are paid approximately $38,000 per year, and whereas in Mexico, where the teachers are not highly valued, they are paid much less salaries, and they are being paid $24,000 per year approximately. Okay, just student reflections. China at number 1 is a world leader in education because they value education very high. They revise their policies and methods based on data and build on lessons from the past. And they believe a strong nation will grow from a very strong educated population. Education. France has a highly complicated certification process. They are very selective in who they allow to become teachers. And Mexico lags in education because it is not always highly valued. One can become a teacher through a teacher's college or obtaining a university degree. It shows once again that if one values a teacher and the inner teacher, as well as the methods and the skills that was used in the past, and one can change the policies to after looking at data sets, then one can build a strong education system which will enhance the society's values and will grow a very strong nation which is recognized all around the world or globally. Just for interest's sake, I studied my bachelor's degree in South Africa, and when I looked at these certification programs, it was very interesting to me to see that in South Africa, I had to go through that was many years ago, but I had to go through a highly selective process just to get into the university degree and college education that was a new system that was introduced in 1982 or 83. It's good to see that in the same way, France, it's difficult to get into that system like it was difficult to get into the teaching system in South Africa. But I was glad that I could take part in education that involved a teaching diploma in South Africa, but also a university degree. And today I'm very thankful that I had the opportunity to study at the university and at the college, the teaching college at the same time. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I wish you all the best in your teaching careers.